into your daily sports and sports entertainment and sports betting show of record. We call it Coach and Company. As you can see, I'm back in the friendly confines. 2 weeks on the road, but damn it, is it good to be back with you here at home. Now, we've got a lot to get to here at BTT Studios. We've got a ton of shows that are coming out. Thank you to everybody last night who tuned in for the last word, an incredible live audience on Stadium and also on our BTT YouTube page. As always, we are live on Stadium and all of the platforms, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku TV, etc. Available in over 100 million homes daily right here. Also, download the Watch Stadium app because we're all over shorts and reels there also. Now, as you can see, we're using a lot of new tech, a lot of new platforms. We have worked it out. And starting tomorrow, we will have the recap screen back. If you have a good day or a good week with one of my cappers and you want to participate in the show, you can do it one of two ways. A super sticker to say thank you, or we will have now 3 different tiers as far as premium memberships are concerned. And you can gift a membership. If you're a wrestling fan, we got you covered. Watch-alongs, Q&As. We're going to start having a new little 3 to 5 minute segments like we did before on the premium tiers that you can get added picks every single day from my company. And then also, you'll be able to participate and eventually come onto the show on screen, but that will be a different thing because we don't do it here on a national platform. I mean, who would do that? That's crazy pants. Now, we are presented, as always, by DeemerBox at DeemerBox.com and ShopMando.com. You'll see all the information throughout the show on the screen. Also, we are officially a WWE Shop affiliate, and you'll be able to get all of your favorite WWE merch right here through the show. All that information will be on the screen as well. You don't have to go anywhere else. And then finally, you guys know, we're leaning into MMA, leaning into the PFL. Coming up in less than 1 hour, we roll out our third of 8 divisions. The bantamweights today, 8 fighters who will participate in the world tournament. And also at the bottom of the hour, we'll show you Coach's Corners. We get you set for that. The first 4 events in Orlando, April 3rd, 11th, 18th, and May 1st. So that's a lot of information, but damn it, we're doing a lot. But now, I've got the best damn company in the business. They are chomping at the bit. I don't care if there's no NBA. We continue to roll, and it's time to beat the books. By DeemerBox. Go to DeemerBox.com, use the code Coach10 and get 10% off site-wide. Look who I have today. This is an embarrassment of riches. First and foremost, he is our numbers guy for a reason. Please welcome back Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Welcome back to you, Coach. Seems like I've never seen you in that background back there. Love the new background, but good morning, crew. Good morning, company. Good morning, everybody here. Should be a great show.
The vibe is awesome, isn't it? Isn't it great to have multiple voices on a show? Fantastic. Now, today, Champions League. We got soccer, and it's a different than the first leg. Thank God we've got my man from the Dirty, Big Chuck. Good morning.
Morning, Coach, man, company. Yeah, nice to have you back in the saddle. Background's looking nice, and loved all the new perks that we have on the website also. So, yeah, round of 16, ready to get it going.
You're damn right. Perks is exactly right. Behind the turnbuckle.net. Everything is there. That's up and running too. Shout out to producer man. Now, I've had to separate these two even on the screen. That's how much they absolutely despise each other. First, he is our OG, the best damn beard in the game. Soupy, good morning.
Good morning, company. Yeah, the background looks great. This is all looking great. And we are finally in the second half of the NBA. USA going to try to win the 4 nations, and we're almost close to March Madness. I love it right now.
Oh, man, we got something planned for March Madness we're going to roll out. Howie Schwab, God rest his soul, he would be so proud of what we're going to do here in a few weeks. And finally, he brings in the young demographic and maybe a few of the ladies too. We call him King Lettuce. He's the Lettuce King. He's young Peyton, but just don't call him late for dinner. Mr. Peyton Lodge, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, company. Really excited for today's show. It's been a while for me. I had 3 tests last week, a test yesterday, but I am done for the week, and I am super excited to be here.
And on a separate note, he also knows how to make all of us feel very, very old at the same freaking time. Thank you, young Peyton, for that. Thank you for that. Can you imagine, guys, getting up and going to a test at this point of your lives?
Well,
Can you
he's about to be
imagine?
tested this week. I'm telling you.
Oh,
I
snap!
got my picks ready.
I would have to go to
Snap!
school.
Oh, all right. We got prize fights. That's coming up in about, do the math, 41 minutes from right now. These two go head to head via prize picks. They're all set for that. But, guys, we got picks today. And my man, Charles, I know you're primed and ready. And the Champions League has changed things a little bit this year, and I like it. And I think a day like today is exactly what we've been waiting for. So, Charles, start us off.
Champions League, second legs, and we have the of the round of 16. Match one features Benfica, who averaged 1.6 goals at home, while Monaco, they average 1.3 goals during this tournament. Plus, they'll be pushed to score. So I like the over 3 in this one. I think we see a minimum of 3. Next up, we go to Bayern Munich and Celtic. They welcome them to Germany. Celtic, they also have to push to score, which leads to corners. Too bad Zaslo's not here. This is honoring him, which they actually average 9 on the season. So only needing 4, I'll gladly take Celtic over 3.5 corners.
Great start, Charles. All right, Rafael, coming over to you. What do we got today?
Well, Soupy was here, but he went away. But I'm fading the Soupy Huskies today. I'm going with Villanova +9 against UConn. I know this game is on the road for Villanova, but UConn cannot cover games at home. They're 0-6 against the spread at home, and Villanova is 9-3 against the spread in the last 12 meetings against UConn. This ain't the same UConn team, so I'm taking a +9. That opened up at 7. I can't believe it moved 2 points. I'm taking Nova tonight. And then we're going to stay in college hoops because that's all we have besides soccer. Illinois team total over 78.5. This Fighting Illini team, if they're going to try to hang around with Wisconsin, they're going to need to score. Last 5 meetings against this team, they scored 7 points a game. I like Illinois to keep this close and score with Wisconsin. I think the team total over 78.5 is a nice winner.
To not see UConn anywhere on the board for as far as a ranked team is concerned?
No, but I guess the ladies are better than the men's right now because the ladies just whooped up on South Carolina, ending their 71-game winning streak at home. So I guess the ladies are better.
It's amazing. It's amazing how far and how fast you can fall once your team turns over. Speaking of UConn, my man Soupy is a UConn apologist. Do not insult the Huskies around my man Soupy. All right, I got to come to you right now because I'm not sure whether you're going to drop off or not because they're in the Northeast. Bad weather. So, Soupy, what do you got for us today, big boy?
I'll start something for today. BYU against Kansas. There is no chalk for the Jayhawks as they are 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. They're going against BYU. BYU is 14th in the nation points per game at home. Now, what the Jayhawks can do is they can shoot the 3 because BYU, they are struggling against defending the 3, but Jayhawks are 29. They're shooting 29% from beyond the arc in their last 7 games. I think BYU is going to come through with this at home, and I'm going to give you that Thursday game 4 nation final. I'm going with a low-scoring game. These are both physical teams. I mean, we saw that in the first 9 seconds of the first game against USA and Canada. But both blue lines, they are getting into the neutral zone. They are interrupting the puck pass. And I think this is going to remain a low-scoring game, especially with Connor Hellebuyck behind the net. He has been incredible. 957 save percentage. That's why I'm going to give America the advantage going against Jordan Binghamton in the other net. I think USA has what it takes to win this game, but the official play is under 5.5 goals.
When is this game again?
This is Thursday.
Thursday game. I saw a headline yesterday that there's been a couple of injuries because of the Nation 4. And I thought to myself, can you imagine the NBA and all of the players going, see, I told you if we played hard that we would get hurt. Nobody in hockey is complaining about a couple of injuries right now. I'm a brand new hockey fan because of this tournament, And we'll have other picks throughout the week as Mark, Better Days Ahead, will join the show as well. Normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, not here today, but he will be here later in the week. Soupy, thank you very much. Now, young Peyton, you've had off, and as I am the greatest boss of all freaking time, I said, hey, don't even worry about it. Handle your business because I promised your dad that if you don't keep the grades up, you don't get to come on Coach and Company. So, with that being said, I don't know if today's your last appearance or not. So let's make it a good one. You're up.
Well, guys, there's some great college games on tonight, but did anyone know that the Bellarmine Knights have lost 17 games in a row? So the spread is only 3.5, and they're playing Austin P, who's taking care of these guys by 9 the last time they played each other. So I'm going with Austin P to cover the 3.5. Also, Purdue tonight to keep this game within one possession. They simply just need to start playing better. They've lost back-to-back games, and this is a huge Big Ten matchup for them. I think they'll beat Michigan State tonight, but I'm going with them to keep it within a possession in case they lose on some old-fashioned college basketball half-court shot or something. So Purdue plus 3.5 as well.
I did not know that Bellarmine had lost 17 games in a row. I didn't know that at all. You just gave me kind of a, you know me, I'm always an idea guy, and we're always throwing it against the wall. And the shocking thing now is we can actually execute said ideas. So I now have an idea for what we can do at March Madness, not just for the good teams, but maybe perhaps for the bad teams. Rafael, I see you in the chat, and I'm not going to read a ton of chat. We want people, to make it special. But you just said Canada, USA under 5.5 minus 125 right now. We could see it at 5 by Thursday. Explain yourself.
Yeah, I think the publisher is going to pound the under in this game. We're probably going to see maybe a 2-1 type of game, so it would not shock me. By Thursday, we could see a 5 on the total.
By the way, I just got, I don't mean to be distracted because who would actually look off screen when they're hosting a show or leave? But my son just texted me. He's fired up for golf today. By the way, this week, PGA Tour goes to Mexico. We'll have golf picks here on Thursday and on Friday. And, gentlemen, you guys don't even know this, but I have talked to a player, who is a 2-time winner of a signature event, one of the biggest events on the PGA Tour schedule. And he has agreed the week of that event, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, he will come here live on the show and not only be on the show, but make picks. Can anybody tell me who that is? Question right now. Rafael, who is it?
You said made picks. It has to be Phil Mickelson. He loves to gamble.
And can anybody else tell me who's a 2-time winner of the API?
It's not Stevie Scott.
Oh, my God, this is embarrassing, Charles. Now, Steve Scott did go to the same college as this man. He is also a Gator. I'm talking about Matt Every, 2-time winner of the API. My partner on PGA Tour Live will be here on Coaching Company the week of the Arnold Palmer Invitation, which is just 2 weeks away, gentlemen. Just 2 weeks away. What are you guys doing when I'm gone? I'm out here just churning, just coming up with content. We don't know who's a 2-time winner. Embarrassing, Charles. Embarrassing. We'll get back to that in a second. Today, Beat the Books is brought to you by Deemer Box. Do not forget, go to deemerbox.com. Use the code COACH10. We'll give you 10% off anything site-wide. I've got my Deemer Box right next to me. It's the roughest and toughest Bluetooth speaker you can have if you're an outdoorsman or if you like to hunt, fish, whatever. You got to get your Deemer Box. I got mine right here. And we're also working on a giveaway. And so I know how much you love free stuff, Peyton. We're going to get a BTT-infused Deemer Box to give away very, very soon. But you're not going to get it. All right, gentlemen, average start today. Average starts. You don't know who Matt Every is. All right, still to come here on the show, we're talking one word, NBA style. Also, we're betting the future with Major League Baseball. We've got a plan. It is Coaching Company. We are live, as always, on Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. It's a glorious Tuesday morning here on Coaching Company, live on Stadium and all of their platforms. Amazon Prime Video, find us, live TV, Direct TV, same deal, YouTube TV, Roku TV. We are everywhere, and we are growing. We've got so much. Simply go to behindtheturnbuckle.net, and everything we're doing at BTT Studios will be there. 3 big shows right now and growing. Now, there's a lot of topics in basketball. No NBA games. One tomorrow, Charlotte and the Lakers. So LeBron will have the entire night to himself. And then we get back going on Thursday. But that does not mean that we don't have a lot to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for one word. get down. It looks a little something like this. We're going to start with Soupy, then Chuck, then Peyton, and Rafael. You will bring it home every single question. Very easy. We piggyback. This is how we do it. Now, gentlemen, the first topic today, the WNBA taking it upon themselves to get into the mix, into the news during the All-Star break. A big-time agent has says that Caitlin Clark, well, the WNBA could never afford to pay her worth. They've done a study, and they've said that she has been responsible for $36 million to the Indianapolis economy. She's paid, let me check my notes, $78,000 a year. There could be a work stoppage at the end of the year because of these salaries. Soupy, one word to describe Caitlin Clark, and is she undervalued to you? One word.
Sponsorships. That's what she has. That's how she's going to make her money. I think for her, it's more about promoting the league, and I think that's going to help. We've already seen that the revenue and the audience is up with Caitlin Clark in the league, so those sponsorships are going to help her. I think just the WNBA salary is just kind of like a base thing for her.
Unfortunate. I'm not sure the WNBA will ever get these big contracts. And if I was her and more popular players, I would use endorsements as an avenue for to grow their salaries as well, and let the WNBA be the view for them to show their product as well. So I think it's unfortunate that they're not able to get the contracts they deserve.
My word is correct. The Indiana Fever broke the WNBA record for home attendance, and when they played on the road, their games were moved to NBA-size type arenas, and television ratings absolutely insane when Caitlin Clark's on TV. We've never seen anything like Caitlin Clark, and her agent is 100% correct that she's not getting the money she deserves.
I'm using the word Jordan-ish. Jordan should have got $1 billion when he played. Tom Brady should have got $1 billion when he played. Patrick Mahomes should be getting $1 billion when he plays. Welcome to being the best player, name-wise, in any sport you play. That's what Caitlin Clark is right now.
My one word is recognize. You better recognize who this young lady is. And it all started last week at the All-Star break when Ionescu couldn't come to an agreement to have a rematch in a three-point shooting contest with Steph Curry in his home arena. That didn't hurt the WNBA. That hurt the NBA. And they understand that, and they recognize that. And so right now, if the NBA doesn't understand what the WNBA is doing, well, they better recognize, because how hard is it to come to an agreement? You get out there and you shoot the rock. This was all about standing up for their brand. You better recognize. Now, topic number 2, speaking of Steph Curry, he was in his press conference for the All-Star game, and it would have been LeBron's 20th, 21st, whatever, and he was asked this by a reporter, producer man.
Right in the center.
Steph, you surprisingly only have 11 All-Star games to your name, with LeBron having 21.
Dang, your expectations are insane, brother.
Does that play on your mind, though? Do you want to play longer to accumulate more All-Star caps in your illustrious career?
Every year you get acknowledged in this way is important. I get Bron's got, 21 or something, and Katie's got like 16 probably, 15, something like that. It's wild to think about where I came from, that is something that you're like, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you only have. I haven't heard only 11 in my entire life, so I appreciate that.
And guess what, Steph? Neither have we. How are these guys getting these passes to get into these press conferences? Enough with the influencers. Enough. However, he mentioned LeBron James. And LeBron James is still getting rolled and wrecked everywhere for not telling anybody until moments before he wasn't going to play, not allowing somebody to take his spot, and then looking like an idiot standing out there in the row with all the other players. They were in uniform. He was in his day clothes, I guess is what you call it. So now it's not so smooth sailing for a team that's very much in the playoff race and maybe in the title race. Soupy, one word to describe the rest of the season for one LeBron James.
Luka Mania. Right now we're on the road to WrestleMania. Well, the Lakers, they're in the middle of Luka Mania. Luka Doncic is going to take all the pressure off whatever LeBron James has going on and off the court, whether he plays or not. As long as Luka plays well and they do start winning games and they stay in contention, I think that takes all the pressure off LeBron.
Uncertainty. He still has to get used to playing with Luka. He's only played with him for 2 games, and word on the street, the Lakers are kind of tired of his act. So this could be his final season with the Lakers. So I think it'll be a lot of uncertainty for old King James as he wraps up this season.
Egotistical. Anyone who has the chosen one tattooed on his back has some kind of an ego. And LeBron's ego cost a guy like Norman Powell of the LA Clippers an all-star spot. LeBron's one of the most selfish guys in the league, and he took that all-star photo in street clothes. I mean, egotistical.
Delusional. I just think he's starting to realize that he's not the main guy in the league anymore. So I think he's delusional where he thinks he's at right now, and he's on his way out, and these younger guys behind him are going to push him aside.
My one word is enough. I think we all agree we've had enough. This guy has continued to get a pass. And even yesterday on First Take, Stephen A. Smith does what Stephen A. Smith does. You guys know what I called it, calling it the Stephen A, where he goes, we know how great he is. We know that he's a great time, 20 times, all this stuff, 4 times. But no, just criticize him the way we would criticize anybody else. We've had enough. And LeBron, come on. You've got to have a better reading of the room. Let's go. Enough. Now, this one's crazy, guys, because historically, the Cincinnati Bengals, yes, the Cincinnati Bengals have been the cheapest franchise in all of the NFL. But now reports are coming out of Cincinnati that they would love to keep T. Higgins. And if he doesn't sign a long-term deal, it'll cost him at least $26 million. Trey Hendrickson, somebody at his rate, over $30 million. And Jamar Chase, he wants to be, and it's not close, the highest paid wide receiver in all of the NFL. So we're talking north of $40 million. So it could cost collectively over $100 million to keep all three. Here's what Joe Burrow said on a recent podcast, how he could potentially help with that.
So you could do a couple different things. You could convert some of the money to a signing bonus, which will lower the cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
You can push some of the money to the back end of the contract, and then when you get to that lowers the cap hit, and then when you get to the back end of the contract, you can restructure it and convert it to a signing bonus.
Okay.
And then you can also just take less money.
And which one were you going to do?
We'll see.
I like that last 3 seconds. We'll see. Tom Brady did it. Patrick Mahomes does it sort of every year. We'll see what happens in Cincinnati. Soupy, one word to describe the Bengals actually thinking they can keep all three.
Empty. These are empty promises. I don't think there's any team really that has 2 high-paid wide receivers. They're going to have to make this choice eventually, whether they want to keep Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. It looks like they're going to franchise tag Higgins again. I think eventually this is going to be Higgins' last year with the Bengals if they do franchise tag him.
Disingenuous. This is the time of season that they're selling season tickets, sponsor deals, renewing sponsor deals. So it doesn't do the Bengals brass any good saying that they're going to let any of these players leave. So I think it's disingenuous statements from the Bengals ownership.
Chase, as in Chase T. Higgins away. Jamar Chase is the best receiver in the league. You can't take away Joe Burrow's number one. And I know Burrow and Chase aren't dating, but they hooked up a lot last year. And this is not one breakup Bengal fans do not want to see.
I'm going to say panic by the Bengals. Panic, because if none of this happens, Joe Burrow could walk. We could see that. Everyone is now talking about these big guys. Big guys can just walk away. We've seen in the Lakers with getting Luka. Everybody in the league, I don't care what league you play, are panicking right now. Joe Burrow could be gone.
My one word is attention. Big Chuck is absolutely right. Can you imagine sending out your season ticket packages and being, there's Jamar Chase on the envelope, and then he's not there as arguably, and I don't think it's even close, he is the best wide receiver in all of football. Sorry, Justin Jefferson, but he is. But this is all about attention to get through this phase, have people re-up, and then they'll figure out which ones that they want to do. By the way, King Lettuce wins today, and it's not close. Well done. You came prepared. Everybody was good, but you were next level. Even Robbie Hockey says that you had it. I like Hockey's, by the way, bungle. He says the Bengals will bungle this one as well today. It's one of those things, Rafael, from a betting standpoint, the futures are always a big thing. We'll talk about them here probably March or April. How do these three guys, how could they affect the Bengals' futures?
What I'm hearing is Higgins is probably going to need to be franchised or gone. I think the defense and Chase will be there. And I think Higgins, there's great possibilities we can get some draft picks from. Look at Pittsburgh, look at Dallas. There's some teams that are probably going to want Higgins. I think they get rid of him.
Can you imagine, Soupy, franchise tagged, and now the rates have gone so high, $26 million, and not being happy with it? Literally, he didn't want to answer the question, so he disappears. That's classic Soupy right there. Classic Soupy right there. Sorry, you missed it, Soupy. King Lettuce, same question to you, 30 seconds.
I think the Bengals need a defense. I mean, they gave up the most points in the league last season, most passing yards and most passing touchdowns. So they need Hendrickson. So it really does just come down to Chase or Higgins. I think you got to go with Chase, best receiver in the NFL.
Charles, should Chase be the guy? 15 seconds.
He has to be the guy. That connection with Burrow, that plus Burrow wanted him on the team. So yeah, that's his guy. If he's going to keep anyone, it has to be Chase.
How about Charles with the low-key shade thing connection with Soupy right next to him? Interesting. Connection, not good today. Charles, that's next level right there, kid. That's next level right there. Soupy has nothing to say. All right, we are halfway home. It goes so fast here on Coaching Company. On the other side, we're betting the futures. That's right, MLB style. It is Coaching Company live, as always, on Stadium. What's good, everybody? Welcome into Coach's Corner for the week of February 17th. I, of course, am the coach. 2 down, 6 to go. This week, we reveal 2 more rosters for the first ever PFL 2025 World Tournament. We're talking bantamweights. What? Yes, I said bantamweights. Coming to the PFL for the first time ever, and it includes a PFL MENA champion. Also, women's flyweights. There are several on this roster that are looking for redemption after what happened in 2024. I hope you have the first 4 dates written down. April 3rd, 11th, 18th, and May 1st, Universal in O-Town. In the meantime, I'll see you this Thursday inside Coach's Corner. And that is coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We will reveal at the PFL our next division, the third, the bantamweights. Never had it before. Never had it. We will have it this year. 8 names released today. I encourage you to follow Ian Parker from ESPN. He will have a full response and a breakdown of his favorite fighters coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 29 minutes from right now. By the way, for those of you watching on YouTube, we will have the brand new Coaching Company podcast. That will drop today around 2 p.m. Eastern Time for you premium members. We're back in 5 seconds. It feels good to be back. I am the coach. This is Coaching Company. We have just crossed the bottom of the hour. We are partners, really partners in every sense of the word with Stadium and all of their apps, and they are rebranding everything. Sports betting, combat sports, and pro wrestling. Do not forget, we are live every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, but also they're heavy into the MMA world. Coming up at the top of the hour, the PFL will reveal their next division, the bantamweights. And so we'll have all of that for you here on Coaching Company throughout the year. 4 events coming up April 3rd, the 11th, the 18th, and May 1st. If you download the Stadium app, they're going to be having MMA all over their apps as they rebrand everything, and we're going to help with that. But we are now starting with spring training. And there's a lot of stories that because of basketball and because of other things are flying under the radar. Not here. It's time to bet the future. I defy anybody to find a better producer than producer, man. Stop it. Just stop it. I don't even have time for the discussion. I don't even have time. Just stop it. Stop it. All right, gentlemen, we're going to go in reverse order this time. Rafael, my man, you're going to start. Soupy, you're going to go last. All right? Topic number 1, Juan Soto, who signed a contract north of $700 million for the New York Mets. Caught a lot of flack, so much so, he changed his phone number. Well, Aaron Judge says that he couldn't get a hold of him, so he wants to kind of use the media to tell him, hey, good for you. You couldn't have turned that down at all. But he also disagrees with Soto that, the Mets are not in the best position to compete in the postseason. So, Rafael, the numbers currently at DraftKings look like this. The Yankees are plus 800 to win it all. The Mets are plus 1,200 to win it all. Which team in your mind, Rafael, and we piggyback all the way down, is worth a little sprinkle?
I'm going to have to go with the team in the Bronx. Just because the Mets have to go against the Braves and the Phillies in that division, and the Yankees, all I have to do is get the Red Sox, Blue Jays down. I'm not sold on Baltimore this way, so I'm taking the Yankees. I think it's great value at 8-1. You can get them on the plus 110 to win a division. I think that's great money, getting plus money to win a division.
I'm going with the Yankees too, Coach. Yeah, they lost Juan Soto, great player, no doubt about it. They also lost Anthony Rizzo, Gleyber Torres, and Nestor Cortez. But man, they brought in Max Fried, Devin Williams, a phenomenal closer, Paul Goldschmidt, and Cody Bellinger, who, by the way, has a perfect swing for Yankee Stadium's right field porch. So all around, the Yankees roster is better than they were last season. So I'm going to go with the Yankees.
Make that 3 for 3. Yeah, absolutely. The Yankees, the Mets, even in their division stack, they still have to get through the Braves and the Phillies. And if they get through them, they have the juggernauts of the Dodgers this season to even get to the World Series. And the Yankees, they're the favorites to win the AL East. There's not a lot of competition with them. So, yeah, I think the answer right here is Yankees for sure.
I don't really like either team, but I will take the Yankees over the Mets. I think Baltimore is going to be a better team, even without Corbin Burns. Red Sox, they're getting a lot better getting Alex Bregman. That was a good pick. But in the NL East, yeah, they got to face the Phillies. They got to face the Braves. And then the Dodgers are obviously the best team in that league.
It didn't make a lot of sense. It's pretty clear that the Yankees, right, guys? Because when you're talking 720 million or 706, we're just splitting hairs here. Juan Soto got bad advice. He got bad advice, and he got some more bad advice. I cannot believe he decided to do that, but he did, and he will have to live with it. This answer is clearly the Yankees. But, Soupy, you just mentioned the Red Sox and Alex Bregman. That's great producing by me, because that's the next topic. And Bregman says, quote, there's something special here in Boston with the Red Sox. Well, apparently it may be the language barrier, not sure. But apparently the information did not get to Rafael Devers that it's out there that Bregman will now play second base. So he does his opening press conference yesterday, and he said under no uncertain terms will he ever give up third base. It is my position. My position. I don't think that they've settled this in Boston. So my question, Rafael, is this. Their number at DraftKings is 86.5. With the addition of Bregman, and if they can figure out this third base, second base drama, do we go over or under that win total?
I'm going to go over it because I think Walker Buehler is going to be the big difference. I think if he can pitch well, I think that's going to be the reason why they go over total. I think they'll get the situation on who's playing third, who's playing second. I got to go with my boy Rafael to play third base. That's his position. I think I like the Red Sox. I think Walker Buehler is going to be a big surprise this year.
I like the Red Sox going over too, but it's a little frustrating if you're Boston because it would be better for the team if Bregman was at third base. He won a Gold Glove last year. Having him at the hot corner would be awesome. So I think it overall just be better for him to play third base and put Devers maybe on a DH or first base. But you give Devers a massive deal, then you ask him to change positions in only the second year of his deal. So you just can't do that. So he's going to be playing third. You'll see Bregman over at second.
I like the over as well. Last year, the Red Sox, they won 81 games and they weren't pinned to do anything. So I think Bregman will at least get them 6 more wins and to get them at least 87. So, yeah, and I think Devers, he'll pull rank. He'll get third base. And Bregman, he should be fine with that. So, yeah, I love for them to get at least 87 wins this season.
Over. I think this is a 90-win team. They played better as the season progressed. They struggled early on. And Rafael should not be playing third base. He has 141 errors over the last 4 seasons. That is the most at third base. Bregman just won the Gold Glove. That should be his position. Red Sox need to tell him that.
This is not a participation trophy sport. This is not Little League where somebody walks in from out of town and gets on a team and say, hey, little Jimmy, that's his spot over there. That's not what this is. I agree with King Lettuce and with Soupy. Put the Gold Glove guy in the spot he won the Gold Glove. It's not that hard. But, can you imagine Rafael with that big old chaw in his mouth going, I don't like this, in Spanish, of course. Now, out here where I live, young Peyton, you have a father, and your father hosts a very, very popular daytime radio show on what handle? Where's that show air at, sir?
I'll say it like he says it. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on Angels Radio AM 830.
ESPN Angels Radio. He knows Mr. Mike Trout intimately, and he always says his name with the middle name, which I find it always cracks me up. Mike, whatever the middle name is, Trout. So we have an expert in the building on this one. So Mike Trout, after only playing, make sure I get this right, 266 out of a possible 648 games the last 4 years, he is now moving to right field. Ron Washington says he could be one of the best right fielders in all the league. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But Mike Trout has never won a Gold Glove, ever. I found that to be incredible. Hopefully, this move will help the Angels go back in the right direction. It'll help the Sports Lodge from 3 to 7 every single day on Angels Radio. And maybe Mike Trout can have a kickstart to the end of his career. It's been 14 seasons. So, Rafael, his number at DraftKings is plus 1,600 to win the American League MVP. Aaron Judge is your favorite at plus 300. How do we feel about that?
No sprinkle for me on this one. I just want him to be healthy. I don't care what position Trout is playing, right field, first base, bench. I just want him to be healthy. He's one of the best players I've ever seen in person play baseball. Maybe he needs a new cap. I don't know, but I just want him to be healthy. Could put him in right field, just let him swing, play a full season. I'll be happy.
Yeah, they knew this was coming too. This was no surprise to anyone in the front office. And even Trout said the other day that he's seen this coming himself. And Torrey Hunter did that same change a couple of years ago from center field to right field. And he personally will be flying to Arizona this week to work with Trout in right field. And we'll be seeing some Joe Adell and Mickey Moniak in center field too. So some great athletes that the Angels have seen before. A lot of ground will be covered in center. So nothing to worry about defensively for the Angels.
I'll pass on any futures with Trout for this time. Why don't they just let him play DH instead of out in the field? Because he tends to get his injuries when he's playing in the field. Let the man DH. Shohei DH. You see that worked out well for him. Just get him through the season injury free. That's the key here. You'd rather have his bat in the lineup than have him out in the field. Let the young guys do that.
I certainly agree. I think right field, he could play some right field, but I think he needs to primarily be a DH. We're seeing that he gets too much legs in the field that they give out. Mike Trout is one of the most amazing players to watch when he is healthy. We've seen it early in his career. I hope he does play a 162-game season, but yeah, I'm not going to put any futures on him.
He has, and we see this sometimes throughout sports, guys, where we get behind an athlete, and we're like, yeah, and injuries end up curtailing the greatness that they could have. It's always been the narrative that Mike Trout is arguably the best center fielder and one of the best players in all of baseball. Well, you can't be that when you miss almost 75% of your game. So bonus question, Rafael, we'll go right down the line. Will Aaron Judge win a third American League MVP, and is there any value at plus 300?
No value. I don't think he's going to win. There's a lot of great people playing in American League right now, so I say no. 3 to 1. I need more value. At plus 450, I might sprinkle, not 3 to 1.
Yeah, no value for me either. I don't like the 300 just because there's a little guy in Kansas City named Bobby Witt Jr. who I think is going to have an awesome year. So I'm going to take Bobby Witt for that.
I'll pass also. He doesn't have that protection with Soto anymore. You look at Vlad Jr. or Bobby Witt Jr., there'll be some better candidates. So, yeah, I'm passing on that plus 300.
I'm passing on too. Without Juan Soto in that lineup, and Stanton's going to be hurt at the beginning of the season too, I don't see any value with that.
I agree with all of you, and this just came across as the top story on ESPN.com that the Blue Jays and Vlad Guerrero, Chuck, unable to come to a contract extension by the deadline, which was yesterday. He says they have their numbers. I have my numbers. Wow. Rafael, do we think he gets this deal done? Because this doesn't sound like they're anywhere close.
If he doesn't get it done, he'll be gone by the trade deadline. They almost had him gone last year and Bichette last year, so I think he'll be gone by the trade deadline.
Soupy, you're my AL East guy. What do you think?
They need to rebuild. They tried to get a lot of guys through free agency in the offseason. Nobody wanted to go to Toronto. I think it's time to rebuild the team, get some young prospects, and try to make it competitive through there.
Charles Guerrero says he plans to cut off talks play out the season, and as an impending free agent, he also says later he won't close the door on a realistic offer from the Blue Jays, meaning if you come back proper, we can get a deal done. Do they get it done, or does he just play?
Yeah, it would be insane to lose Vlad Jr. He's the face of the franchise. How could you lose him? He's the one who puts butts in the stadium also. So, no, I don't see you could lose Vlad. They have to sign him no matter what.
Young Peyton, you are all over the American League for us here, and this to me, this is a stars league. This dude is an absolute star.
Yeah, and a lot of teams need Vlad Jr., that's for sure, and the Blue Jays need him the most just to bring fans into the stadium, like Chuck mentioned. So, I mean, you can't lose him, but when you look at Vlad's responses, sounds like he's nowhere close and he doesn't want to be there.
God, it's going to be amazing with what Soto signed for, and even Peter Alonso got, what, $25 million? I'm guessing that he wants north of $50 million to stay, and that's Canadian money. And I don't even know what the trade-off is, but that's Canadian money. By the way, today, Betting the Future brought to you by Mando at shopmando.com. Get your starter pack today. Use the promo code EXPLODES, and it's like 40% off your starter pack. I have them all right here because I love to smell great when I'm doing coaching company, all right here. All right, still to come, my man, Young Peyton and Soupy go toe-to-toe. A little prize fight. And also, if you weren't here at the top of the show, don't even worry about it. We're going to lock in our picks for the day. It's Coaching Company. Having a great time, as always, live on Stadium. Some things they don't talk about is the funk that you walk around with every single day. So our brand new sponsor is Mando from shopmando.com. And I said, hey, if we're going to have it here on the show, you're going to send it to me so I can try it before we even get it on the show. So here's what we're going to do. I got my starter pack about a week ago, and I've been trying it. I have never smelled better, Vince, than I have in the last week. So here's what the starter pack looks like. You can have your stick of deodorant. You can have your your tube of deodorant, which most places don't have because you normally just put it in the normal places. Not here with Mando, because the doctor who founded it, she's amazing. But she also realized you got funk all over your body. Then you get 2 free items as part of the starter pack. I decided to go with something that I think you would wear. The bourbon leather body wash or the deodorant wipes. Those are the 2 free items that I chose. And if they use the code EXPLODES, EXPLODES, you get $5 off. That's the equivalent of 40% off your Mando starter pack at shopmando.com. And Vince, one other thing, they threw in the cleansing bar. I haven't even opened it. You can smell it through the box. It's that good. Shopmando.com. Could not be more excited. Your thoughts?
Okay. Let's put the mamby-pamby aside. Gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, listening to this show, it took me 64 years to come up with a cure for the sweaty balls. You know what I'm talking about, gentlemen, and I don't wear any underwear, so it's 3 times as worse. 64 years I'm walking around with the sweaty balls, coach, and then I get these Mando wipes, bro. These Mando wipes, I go down to the grundle. I use these wipes on the grundle. 72 hours, odor-free. 72 hours, balls smelling like baby powder. 72 hours, gentlemen. Come on, man. If you want the hey nanny, you can't have a stinky grundle down there. Mando is the answer. All right, guys, let's get down to business.
Welcome back. Having a great time on a Tuesday morning here in February. No NBA till tomorrow night. 1 game, Charlotte and the Lakers. And I believe that that is the game that was canceled because of the wildfires. And then the full schedule gets back up and going on Thursday. But plenty of soccer today. We've got Lock It In coming up in about 4 minutes. But for those of you that know us, on Tuesdays, I've got 2 gentlemen. And I use that term loosely, as Vince Russo just said. And they absolutely do not like each other. And each man believes they are the better picker. Is that the word I use? When it comes to prize picks, it's a different language. It's a different universe that we want you to be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little prize fight. Let's go. It's still so embarrassing that they put my body on Soupy, but it is what it is. All right. Now, who won last week, gentlemen? Oh, no, Peyton, you weren't here. You had school. Okay. So I'm going to go with the OG. All right. We see the graphics at the bottom. We have a different language that they use. Pay attention. Have your paper and pencil, just like I have right here. What are your 3 plays today, Mr. Soupy?
I'm going with a less than to start. Dawson
Oh.
Garcia, less than 6.5 rebounds. He's going against UCLA, who are 34th in rebounds allowed per game. And he's done this in 2 of his last 5. And the only 2 he's hit it in are teams that are in the outside of the top 60 in rebounds allowed. And then I'm going to Marquette's Cam Jones. He's second in the Big East in points per game, going against Seton Hall. He's gone over this in two of his last 4, and those were against UConn and Creighton, who are above in points allowed per game than Seton Hall. And then let's go with Jai Bailey of LSU. He just needs to hit 1-3. He's done that in 3 of his last 4, going against South Carolina, who are 261st in 3-point percentage to opponents and 74th in 3 points allowed per game.
161st. There's only like, 320 teams? Something like that?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Look at that information. You guys are stepping it up today. I am so impressed with my company today. All right, young Peyton, you're always talking trash on your rival. On Tuesdays, it's time for you to step up. Where are you going today, big boy?
Yeah, I'm a little shocked you didn't mention the last 3 Tuesdays. It's been 3-0 in young Peyton's favor. So, Coach, it's been a little bit like the, I don't know, when I was on the varsity team in high school, it was kind of like when Coach would say, "Hey, we're scrimmaging the JV team today, guys. Let's have some fun and let's work on some plays." That's kind of what anyway, let's just get on with it. We got Kobe Johnson, more than 7.5 points. You need to take a guard on the Bruins tonight, whether it's Sky Clark, Dylan Andrews. I think they're all going to have 10-plus points tonight, so I don't care who you take, but I'm going with Kobe Johnson because he's got a lower number at 7.5. He only needs 8 points against a Minnesota team that plays just no defense. And in the last 5 games for Minnesota, the opposing team's point guard has been the leading scorer. So I'm going with Kobe Johnson to be that leading scorer for the Bruins tonight. Braden Smith of Purdue, also more than 16.5 points. He's shooting 43% from 3 on the road versus his 36% at home. So no surprise there, though. He's a junior who's been in big game situation. I think he's going to be coming up big for Purdue tonight and hit some big time shots towards the end of the game. And Soupy's going with Cam Jones I'm taking him less than 19 points. So this is definitely a prize fight today. He's not going up there tonight in that stat sheet because he won't have time to do that. This game's going to be a blowout, as right now we have Marquette favored by 18.5. He might play 20, 25 minutes in this game. And as Coach Smart, no pun intended, he'll want to keep his star healthy before the tournament in March.
Oh, that was really well done. Soupy, your take on the trash talk coming back at you?
It's 2 weeks until March. I don't think he needs to rest him for 2 weeks. And you're talking about being on varsity. I don't think you were on varsity. How tall are you? You look like you're 5'8", probably 4 inches of that is in your hair.
Stop. Oh, my gosh. That is some of the worst trash talk I've ever heard in my life. You're going with him with the height, and he's sitting down. Soupy. We're getting ready to roll this out behind the turnbuckle.net. I'm going to give you a code so you can take my trash talking seminar for free. For free. It's embarrassing. All right. Soupy, you got to stop this run that he's on. 3-0. You got to stop this week, all right?
All about Cam Jones today. He's going to go big. He's going big.
Okay.
I've seen it.
We rarely have a showdown within Prize Picks. And by the way, that's another thing that we're working on. We will have showdowns for you at home and for those within the community as well. But Producer Man only has so many hands, and you can see how much he is just lapping the field in remote producing. Gentlemen, well done. Can't wait to see who wins this week. All right, a lot of you here weren't here at the top of the show, and that's okay because we know you have a life. You can't hang out for a full hour. We got you covered. It's time to, as you know, lock it in. 10 seconds or less, 1 or 2 nuggets, 4 games on the pitch today in the ultra important Champions League. Big Chuck, start us off.
Round of 16, second legs, match one, Benfica, who averaged 1.16 goals at home, and Monaco, 1.3 on the road. Go ahead and give me the over 3 as I see a minimum of 3 in this one. Lastly, Bayern Munich welcome Celtic to town, and Celtic, they have to push to score. Then they generate corners averaging 9 per match. Go ahead and give me over 3.5 corners for Celtic.
Rafael, talk to me.
We're going with Villanova. I posted it at plus 8.5. It's now plus 9.5. I don't know what the UConn bettors are doing. They're 0-6 against their spread in their last 6 home games. Give me the Cats on this one. We're going to go with Illinois team total over 78.5, laying the 3 nickels. Fighting Illini averaging 85 points a game on the road, 84 points a game. I think they hit the 80 mark tonight on the road.
And that's why we lock it in. The numbers change. We have it at the beginning of the show, but also we'll update at the end of the show. Rafael, great job right there. Young Peyton, talk to me.
The Bellarmine Knights have lost 17 games in a row. That'll be 18 after Austin Peay takes care of them tonight by at least 3.5 points. And yes, I'll be one of the 4 people watching that game tonight. And Purdue at Michigan State. Michigan State's 4th in the country in free throw percentage. If the Boilermakers can defend without fouling and keep them off the free throw line, I like Purdue tonight.
Soupy.
Give me the Cougars chopping on the Jayhawks minus 2.5. They can give up the 3, but the Jayhawks, they have been terrible shooting the 3 lead, just 29%. Give me BYU minus 2.5. And then USA, Canada, that is going to be a physical fight. Probably literally 2. They're going to drop the gloves again, but give me the under 5.5.
Boom and boom. The Jayhawks, my Jayhawks, have been absolutely terrible. Only a couple of minutes left in the show, so you know what time it is for a little Rafael's Inside Info. Rafael, what do we got today?
We're going with the Western Michigan Broncos have dropped 16 out of their last 20 road games. They're on the road and they're road favorites, 2.5 against Buffalo. I cannot understand why Western Michigan is the road favorite.
All right. You guys know that our inside info normally leads to a cash. The other day, though, that San Jose State one, Rafael, they got blown out. Oh, that was awful to watch. Awful.
3 other 5 starters fouled out.
Exactly. By the way, Soupy, a lot of people in the chat are questioning your mentorship of young Peyton after that atrocious trash talk today.
Well, that's too bad. I'm not his mentor. I'm not trying to teach him my game. That's my game.
Wow. That's your game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This is my company.
I like the ownership. All right, gentlemen, well done today. Great job by all 4 of you. Producer man, one shot. Thank you very much. All right, it's time for you to go out into the world and understand this. We have 3 shows. Easiest thing to do, go to our YouTube page and hit that subscribe button as we continue to grow. We're here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Stadium. Also, The Last Word, a special interview this week with Matt Morgan, former WWE superstar. But in the meantime, understand this. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire company, damn it, do I love them all. My man Soupy, Young Peyton, Big Chuck, Rafael, and producer man always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1,000,000. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's true what we're all about every single day. Make us a part of that day to start it out in a positive way. You know what I'm talking about. Live on Stadium. Good luck today.